Go. Let's continue to grind and shine. Cowboy Nation. Open up your heart, soul, and sinew. We got things to talk about, be about. It's a hard knocks life, right? For all of us. Breaking news, basically. Shout out to all the HBOs, the SGs that's in the house. Salute to the nation, one way or another. Gang, gang. Appreciate y'all. Let's go. Continue to find ways, Cowboy Nation. It's hard knocks. As we set up, be sure to share this thing all across the globe. Yeah. Come on. Shout out to you. Ethan, I see you. John Turner in the house. What's good? Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Let's go. Where my dogs at? Ride and shine, baby. Come on. Pour your drinks up, baby. The name is Law Nation. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in, especially for those who heading into the weekend. If it's your off day, and hope you guys enjoy your off day like I am enjoying mine. I was looking and I was barreling through some film, and then I think Jay Versick, shout out to you, man. He hit me up on the IG, he DM'd me and said, hey, the Dallas Cowboys will be not just in Oxnard, but also will be the HBO special groove that starts on August the 10th, which is okay. It's good. I get it from a marketing aspect. You want your names to be all throughout the world, the four corners of this world. You want your name to be out there. So I'm not sullying or denigrating the aspect of being able to have your name out there, right? But there are things that come attached to being notarized or to being popular or to getting the spotlight on you. It's been many of years since we won the Super Bowl, right? But we are the household name that all of the four-letter networks, three-letter networks, anybody, mama, uncle, cousin would like to talk about. Shout out to you, Jay Versick. I see you in there. So my thing is, we're going to have to take advantages of the opportunity when it's granted. Nevertheless, it's one of those things where it's heavy as the crown. I'm not mad at it. I just don't enjoy it all the way. Now, every team that actually was on the Hard Knocks or what have you, they never did anything as it relates to a season-wise. If you guys can find out a team that did something, then let me know. Correct me. I'm not here to say, hey, I'm always right. So I'm just looking at it like, man, come on, Cowboy Nation. We was doing good. We was doing good, flying under the radar. You know, last episode and the episode before that, we was sitting out there saying, man, this is a good off season. The only thing that came about was a lady named Chinese Kitten. And that was on Diggs, some situation like that. And I believe Ezekiel Elliott dog got out and bit somebody or licked them. You know, I don't know what he did. But the dog got out of the house and basically somebody wanted to sue. But that was good stuff. Because those were the only off-season news that we had to talk about. And on top of that, of course, Boss Man Fat. You know, of course, people talked about him. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Can he roll one? Can he not roll one? Hey, is he going to show up? Is he going to be out of shape? Every day. You know, we talked about Randy Get Down Gregory. He's got to focus mind, focus everything that's really ready on just football purely. Oh, my goodness. But now, the Dallas Cowboys will be on Hard Knocks. Let's see what we have here. But Ray caught the murder charges from Demetrius Alexander. Let's see. The Ravens was the only team. This is from Demetrius Alexander. Yeah, appreciate you, man, for doing your homework over there. So, well, we can't get mad at the sun for shining, right? Let me put this. There we go. We can't get mad at the sun for shining, and that's what the Cowboys, we are the star. Not just for the NFL, but for all the sports. All of sports. They look for the Dallas Cowboys. They look for that star. When you walk outside, you look up, you see the stars. You'll think that the team that just won the Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you would think that they'll come over there and say, hey, you got a man that is older than Methuselah. Why don't you do a Hard Knocks on them, right? You got the story, the dynamic story of Antonio Brown, and then you got the situation with Mike Evans, and you got all of those things that you can talk about with them. They just coming off of a Super Bowl. They have one of the most diverse coaching staff that's in the NFL. You would think that they would do that, but they're like, no. Our rating's been down, collectively speaking, over the period of years. Let's go out here and entertain the Dallas Cowboys, because who was up against them? I think somebody said the Arizona Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers. Those stories are meh. Yeah, shout out to you, Sheila Neal. Appreciate you for jumping in. Yeah, 13-4. Let's go. This is from, is it Flores? Shout out to you. Smiley Flores, I think that's how you say that. Kenny, what's good with you, man? They have to concentrate on football. This is Kenny. Let me see how I can do this. There is a political agenda in everything that you look at and see and touch. There is a political agenda on it. Regardless of whether you look left or right, there's always politics. There will always be politics, regardless of whether or not you're a shooting star, falling star, rising star, missing star. There's always politics into this thing. There's always the unknown. There's always pockets that's deeper than ours. There's always somebody that controls the other person. Call me crazy. I'm quite sure that there's somebody that controls Jerry, right? That we just don't know about. He's sitting in the shadows. There's always somebody bigger than you. You know, even the scripture says, be weary of strangers, for you not knowing that you may be entertaining angels, right? So there's always something that we just don't know about. And then 2-3 years later, then they say, okay, this person is innocent. This person have no charges on them, right? Collectively speaking, there's always a strong arm. So I believe just like that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial a couple of years ago, you know, when they said, hey, man, I need to score. Or we wanted to stay longer at Buffalo, and they had the button over there. They pressed the button, then all of a sudden the sprinklers cut on while they was on the field. That is replicates of what really happened in life.
That was easy.
They just press a button and say,
That was easy.
I'm quite sure in basketball, there's a thing called a touch foul. You can touch a person's elbow, foul. Football, there's a holding that you can call on every play. I'm not trying to be conspiracy law, but that's right. Jerry wife controlling him. Yeah, I believe. Jay Versick. Oh, my goodness, man. Go ahead, AI.
Jerry wife controlling him asked them girls he took pictures within that room. Mouthless face, smirking face, eyes.
Oh, my goodness, the conspiracy. But y'all know how this thing goes, Cowboy Nation. I just, I ain't going to lie to kick it. That's how it goes. But, it is what it is. There's always a bigger I and a bigger you. We say no big eyes, no little U's, but shoot, there's always somebody in control. And social media, man, oh, my goodness. Shout out to social media. I'm not talking about you, but they made it where it is fact checks, They do that, It used to be back in the days, about 5-6 years ago, you can post whatever you want. You have any thought that you want. But now it got to be controlled, right? We used to see somebody and say, oh, man, that's just a crazy dude talking about nothing. But now they put a censor, they put a muffler on that person. You can't speak your mind anymore. That's just how it goes, unfortunately, fortunately, right? And they would ban you and kick you out and subtly denigrate you. And it's just the craziest thing of it all. But let's listen in to 105.3 The Fan. And this is the title right here. It's hard. Bam. That storyline was crazy. Chinese kidding. T. Diggs
says it's going to be a special year. What would define that?
Man, if they could find a way to get past the divisional round and get into the championship game, because they were 3-13 his rookie year, home field advantage, and get bounced by, well, basically, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to play.
Right.
But to me, if you could find a way to get out of the divisional round and go and play in a championship game again, I think that would do everybody a world of good as far as their psyche about this team.
808, Gavin, you're starting to sound like damn Philly media, but if people told you the girls' soccer sucked, you would look crazy. You're damn right I'd look crazy, bro. Who you talking to? SA? Don't you know I'm loco? Jeff, what do you think? What's special?
NFC title game. And it's not totally unrealistic. It just requires, like in a lot of seasons, it requires positive answers to a lot of questions that I have about this team. Because I think you're going to have one of the worst, or not far off from that, secondaries. I think you're going to have, at best, still unspectacular interior play from your defensive line.
Sure.
Like what you're hoping for is average NFL players on your interior. You don't know really what you have behind your two starting defensive ends. Linebacker, I don't even know which guys are going to play, but I do believe in the talent at linebacker. And your safety group is also meh. So the potential is still there for this to be a bad defense. It's absolutely still there for that to be a possibility. And if that happens, are there going to be two teams in the NFC that have top 5 to 10 offenses and borderline top 10 defenses? Because if there are, it makes it really hard for you to be one of the teams that gets there. Because what you do is you run into somebody who's as good as you are at offense, and they're better than you at defense. So this defense will have to answer questions. Brent Urban will have to be a baller.
Right.
Neville Gallimore or Oso Odighizuwa is going to have to be an NFL starter. At corner, you're going to have to be able to cover better than I think you can.
Yeah.
And better than Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown's 4- and 5-year track records say that they can. So like that's what it takes to be special. And for Dak, look, we got the promo going where Mike Bassick is talking about, look, if Dak turns into the best quarterback in football, then maybe you can get to an NFC title game with a bad defense. Maybe. But it's going to be hard. Like I don't have questions about Dak.
No.
I know what he's going to be. He's going to be a top 7 quarterback in football. I think they're going to protect him this year. His weapons are great. They're going to be a top 5 offense in the league. These things I know. What are you going to do on defense?
I think, the more, and I think Jeff is dead on about this. I think in my mind, I'm starting to think beating Tom Brady twice might be the success you need.
That'd be fun.
Because
winning week one would be great.
Winning week one.
And
then finding a way you're probably going to have to play him again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But maybe this thing would be a success if somehow you could beat Tom Brady twice in the same season.
Right. I thought they was going to talk about the Hard Knock stuff, but my thing is, okay, I'm high on the offense, and I believe that this offense can score north of 28 points a game. I think that we can deliver that on this particular platform as relates to the NFL. Now, as far as the defense, I believe that the defense, it might take a little minute for everybody to get on the same page, but that's natural. That's natural, especially when you got so many young guys out there. Also, I posted the link in the description box to join the conversation. If you want to be a part of the show, to give me your thoughts, give me your opinions of things, jump right on in, and we will be willing to listen to what you got to say. Dude, we had a concussion every single year of his career in the pros and had some in college, but 9 concussions in 9 seasons. Rue, who y'all talking about? Who had all of those concussions? Demetrius says Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year. He skipped past rookie. If that happened, man, hey, I owe you a round of whatever of your favorite choice, man. And I believe that Parsons will be one of those guys. We had an episode on game changers, and it was primarily on the offensive side of the ball, like who will be the game changer? Will it be Amari Cooper or will it be CeeDee Lamb? I believe that on the defensive side, we need to have that conversation with my guys. Big Game James, the OC, and as well as Boss Cowboy. We need to go through who will be the game changer on the defensive side of the coin. I think that if, and I'm using the operative word if Parson is able to play the full 17 weeks and starting off the jump and getting his football legs up under him, ready to play football, I think that he can be one of those game changers, those catalysts, those guys that can help this team out. Rue Glock says Calvin Johnson. Okay, are you talking about his concussion situation? Well, Calvin Johnson itself, he played up there in Detroit land, and that's where players go to die. So it is what it is, And shout out to him. Good old Megatron, yeah. And Demetrius says weed. Shout out to Shakari Richardson. I don't know whether or not she's going to be able to run in the Olympics, but she spoke her mind. She's grieving. She's going through a situation where she lost a parent or mom, basically, and she's just doing the best way that she can cope with life. So I hope that the Olympics can see that she's speaking from her heart and from her point of view, and they allow her to witness great stuff out there. They should not allow a plant to get in front of them, right? But that's a story of a different day. I just had to put that out there for those who follow her career. And shout out to Dallas and shout out to Oak Cliff. That's where she's from. Shout out to you, Chris Davis. Tell me this is a joke. No, Christopher. No. They are having Hard Knocks right here in Dallas land. This is where it's going to be at. Love them or hate them. You when you see them, they should say you should respect them. It's hard to look away. Somebody should put you going to respect them, right? So Hard Knocks, yes, let's go. Demetrius says she's only suspended for a month, which will be good. If she's only suspended for 1 month. When does the Olympics kick off? Yeah, it's not until when. Y'all post that down below. Haven't been on Twitter yet, Chris. Okay, jump over there to Twitter. You'll see all of this. Donald Weaver says Jerry loved every second of it. Yeah. I mean, for those who ran track, man, sometimes when you're on your final lap of life, you want to witness everything, right? And he's kicking it all he can. Jerry might outlive us all, by the way, but this is a scenario. This is the situation. He's trying to put his team out there for his kids to understand that this is what granddad did, So it just seemed to be like that is just what it is right now. I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, Hard Knocks is going to be on the TV and I'm not going to watch it. No. I'm still going to represent the Dallas Cowboys. I tell people all the time, man, when I die, you better put a star on my tombstone. If not, I'm coming out of the grave. I'm going to hunt you. I'm figuring this thing out. We bleed. We may not all look alike, but we bleed silver and blue. We all bleed that, So it's a major detractor to everything that we try to do out here. Yes, it's a distraction altogether. But, yeah, Jay Worthy, what's good, man? Law, you go. Make sure we get a fans interview for us. This is from Jay Worthy. Law, you going to be homie. Okay, so I'm quite sure that majority of their clips, shout out to you, Joseph, I'm quite sure that majority of their clips will be out there in Oxnard. And let's kick off that reality show. HBO, me, Big Game James, the OC, Vach, Sky, West Coast Cowboy, Shango. Let's kick off. Hey, we need to reach out to HBO and be like, hey, we got the HBO specials over here. Y'all put us in one of those big old houses out there in California and have it from the fans' perspective. I'll do that. Will you guys be watching it? They're like, look, man, there go Foots the King. Look at Law. Look at Sky. Look at my dog over there, the OC, Boss Cowboy. Look at Big Game James. I can see Big Game James mad now. Who ate the last bowl of cereal? That could be a good reality show right there. following the Cowboys. We better than the Housewives. People watch that show. Yeah. CR said, yeah, we'll watch that, And we'll have some of our lady cowgirls, fans out there, the ladies, they'd be the cowgirls, I guess. I can't call them cowboys. Was it Brianna Batty and all of them? We'll bring them out, Bring them all. Country Wayne, let him be there. Who's the other guy? Scooter. Bring Scooter. Bring him out there. YouTube turns into reality stars. Jay Versick, yeah. Oh, Mark Holmes, hey, you can't leave out Joe Boo Sports, Now, if that happened, HBO, if that happened, then y'all just got to cut me a piece of it. Cut me like, I'd take 2%, 3%, Demetrius, man, y'all never listen to me on that talk. Vach versus Big Game James running routes. This is for Rue Glock. That would be funny. That would be dope. That will be. You'll watch it in a heartbeat. See? But I do know the front runners will be Country Wayne and Scooter. They got their footprints all over the Dallas Cowboys. And shout out to CP3. He's a diehard Cowboys fan as well. And Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx know him to come out there to Oxnard, so that would be good. That would be cool. Yeah. All right, so let me see. The waiting room is open. The link is on the top of the screen on my YouTube page if you want to jump in and leave me your thoughts and leave me your opinions of everything. The NFL owes us for doing it. Time we stop being the heel of the bad calls. Yeah, and terrible misfortune. This is Chris Davis. Like, I ain't going to even lie, man. Sometimes we want something to go our way. And when things do go our way, they expand it and they push it out and they say, see, they cheating for the Dallas Cowboys. I think it was one of the games. It was the index card, right? You guys remember the guy pulled out the index card I think it was against the Raiders. I can't talk today. The Raiders. Yeah, it was against the Raiders. Yeah, they pulled out the index card. Dallas Cowboy fan 1982, Law. Yeah. Man, we got a lot. We got a lot of fans. We got a lot of YouTube content creators too. And if I left out your name, we bring in my Cowboys family. Trying to go through the crevices of my thoughts. Jay Tuck, he's pretty good as well. Cowboys Talk, we got them. So that will be a big mega show Maybe it'd be a competition show, something like you divide teams or something, you know. Denzel is a Dallas Cowboy fan. Donald Weaver, appreciate you. Yeah, he is a diehard Cowboy fan. The Raiders game, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where as we look at it and say, man, let me see what they had to say on the rest of this.
I think they could have a bend but don't break, smoke and mirrors top 10 defense somehow that's not that great, but they do play complementary football, and I think they could get there. But usually you need to be more of a complete team to win in the divisional round, and that's why it kind of blew up in their face in 14 and 16. Yeah, I think winning 12 or 13 regular season games and being able to dream and getting that to the divisional round should be their absolute goal, and then you hope things fall your way.
Yeah, that was the end of that one.
What would be a special year?
Here's the situation. Just like Chris Davis was talking about, things falling our way. We talked about there's a higher power that pretty much controls everything.
Mike, do you think the Dallas Mavericks are better off today than they were 1 month ago?
Let me stop that one. Shout out to Dallas Mavericks, though. I think that was an old clipping there. Shout out to Dallas Mavericks, though. Back to this conversation. In 2014, the catch, no catch, right? In 2000,
Your score on Cowboys versus Chiefs?
Say it again.
Your score on Cowboys versus Chiefs?
I'm going to give you that thought in a few seconds, Jay Versick. Shout out to your AI. She's there now. She's there. 2014, the Dez catch, no catch. 2-3 years later, said, okay, it was a catch. Okay, cool. All right, I get it. In 2016, right? I'm not going to call holding on David Irving, right? Like the guy had his hands around David Irving's neck. And I believe in that same game, and let me know if I'm wrong, too many people in the huddle, you know, even though like you can literally see like the intentions were not there to have that extra guy. And then for the following year, they kind of worked out their ruling there. And it's just crazy. Like sometimes we'll look at some of these things and gloss over it and say, well, it's just the Dallas Cowboys. And then I think 2019, Ezekiel Elliott game, right, against the Saints. Elbow all in the ground. Oh, it was a fumble. First game ever in the National Football League where one player got called for offensive pass interference twice in one game. First game ever. You can use that as a history lesson or a pop quiz test. Mari Cooper pushing off. And they said, well, we really want to focus in on the offensive pass interference. Oh, so you're going to call it twice on the guy that beat one of the better cornerbacks in the National Football League? Okay, that's cool. 2000 last season, Gallup beating the guy on the edge there, one of the better defensive backs in the National Football League. Oh, he pushed off when you can see that his arm was locked, and that was the only way he can go grab the ball. But evidently he pushed off. So it is what it is. Shout out to you, High Life Emoji Gang. Offensive pass interference against the Rams. Yes. Suns finna take it all. Yeah, Rook Lock, CP3. I really, look, real talk, a little bit of basketball, I really want CP3 to get him one, right? He's one of the guys that was on the banana boat that need to get one. And Melo, he ain't going to get one because, you know, the situation he fell into. But if CP3 can get him one and throw up the X and have the Dallas Cowboys scarf on or anything, you know, with the Cowboys close to the Super Bowl type of situation, that will help us out. Law Nation, I'm so tired of being but don't. Oh, wait, why my thing look like that? Let me see if I can fix this. Give me 1 second. Let me fix this up. Can't read it all. Why does it look like that? Bear with me. Here we go. Did I fix it? Now. I don't know why it still ain't showing it all. Maybe I do it like this. Oh, you just wrote a lot. Appreciate you, the love below. Appreciate you. Melo was trashed pretty much from Demetrius. Yeah. Well, I ain't gonna call him all the way trash. He just bad luck Melo to me, Bad luck Melo. I'm excited. This Gambino, appreciate you. He says, I'm excited for Hard Knocks, man. I'm quite sure we all excited for it. We all want to see some good stuff happen out of it. We all want the graces and the goodness to occur so that, we can look back at it and say to ourselves, all right, cool. We get a chance to see some insights that's never been seen before. Case in point, hear me out on this one, Cowboy Nation. All of the stuff that they talked about with Boss Man, it'll be visible now. All of the things that you look at, what's the major controversial type of situation? Oh, where you going to play your linebackers, who's going to start or what have you. Keon O'Neal versus Jabril Cox as relates to coverage abilities out of these linebackers. Oh, okay, LVE. Okay, will he be a guy that can step up and be healthy? Will they pay him his contract? All of these things. Who will be like the devastating cut? Who will be the person that when everybody look at it and say to themselves, I didn't see this person coming, he's cut. Oh, no. And who will be the surprise guy? It's always a surprise guy. And, that's just how it goes. All right, I got one of the callers to come in. Appreciate you. Jay Versick.
Yo, Law, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, you the reason why I'm live right now, man.
Bro, okay. I literally just got off work not too long ago, and I was like on Twitter, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, let me shoot that to Law real quick. But, I was talking to a Steelers fan today. Okay, I work with a Steelers fan, so me and him always going back and forth about the Cowboys and the Steelers, and he's always talking about trash about, oh, we beat you guys last year, and I'm like, bro, you got to remember, y'all beat us with a fourth quarterback. Like, you got to remember this team. Like, I sent you in DM. I told you that there's times last year we actually could have went 11-5. If you think about it, all those games that we were close in with Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci and even Garrett Gilbert, those were close games. If Dak was on on the team at the time, we would have won those games. He kept us in a lot of those games, like the Giants and the Browns and with the Falcons, of course, with the Seahawks. We know how that went. But my point is, those games that Andy Dalton won, Dak would have won, and the games we lost close, Dak would have won. I'm just, I guess I'm being optimistic about it, but I'm just sure Dak would have won those games.
Yeah, now you got to provide context, because in this modern day time, people will use those words and throw it at you and say, hey, this guy's delusional. So going back to that first game DiNucci was in against the Eagles, I'm quite sure, yeah, you're right. That game, it ended in a crazy way. And that first series and that first drive, DiNucci went all the way down the field. They did some creative play calling. But the guy, Terrence, still was like, no, let me just give a pathway to the quarterback. And you know what happened ever since then. Right?
But here's the difference. Mm-hmm. Here's the difference. Dak would have audible out of whatever play that was.
Facts.
At least that's my opinion. Right. You would have audible out of that play, and I just don't see Dak doing the same situation that happened where Ben DiNucci fumbled. I think he fumbled like twice in that game, and they picked up one. And it was on the ground, but they called it a touchdown when Buddy picked it up and ran it all the way back to the end zone. I'm like, y'all, wait, Buddy was down. Why didn't y'all call it a down?
Oh yeah.
So see, that blew me. But that game was only we just needed to score a touchdown or 2 touchdowns, and we would have won that game. You telling me that couldn't get 2 touchdowns in that game when he literally scored like 5 against the Browns?
And anytime you saw DiNucci moving the ball down the field with the sidearm wonder, and I was sitting there like, man, this guy is literally like you going for a bowl. He's bowling the ball down the field, and he's finding the open guy. And
right,
it was just crazy. Like that second fumble, when they picked it up, you can clearly see that DiNucci was on the ground like Family Guy, and the guy jumped on him, got the ball or what have you out of him, and then they ran it on in for a touchdown and let the thing stand. So it was crazy.
Right. So I feel like that was a game that we could have won.
All right, what's the other one?
Okay, let's go to the what was it? The Washington football team.
Right.
The first one, I think now, okay, I feel like we would have lost that even with that because that team was unexpected. And our O-line haven't really gelled together yet. Now, the second one on Thanksgiving, I think we'd have won that one. That team, I feel like we was competitive. The defense started playing better. Only thing is, you had Barry Church, the red pistol out there. So, my guy was out there pewing all over the field. But I think Dak would have got us that win. That game was close all the way till they wanted to start doing those trick plays and everything went left and they blew us out the water. Yeah. Exactly. So I think with, Dak knowing how to run that offense, and you talking about the way he was moving the ball down the field, I mean, it was ridiculous. I really think we'd have won that game. Steelers, I really wish we would have won that game. Like they was a 7-0 team, and we nearly beat them, but refs kept them in that game. One of the people in the chat said it. I wish that the refs for once just be on our side. Like that game went totally for the Steelers, and there was a lot of calls that should have been called, like Amari Cooper getting held in the end zone, and the judge back there didn't even see it, or he probably saw it, but like, no, I'm just going to let these guys get it. And they called it on Garrett Gilbert for some bull job, and I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of frustrated about it, but I feel like there was a lot of games, Law, that we could have won with Dak if he was in the game.
You ain't lying, man. You spitting the truth over here, man. And I know it's unfavorable right now to look back and say, we could have did this and cry over spilled milk. But I completely agree with you on those terms. It's an 8-8 league, basically. All these teams, well, now it's not an 8-8 league because you got more games. But all of these teams it's supposed to be parity in the league. All these teams supposed to be close as it relates to talent wise.
Right. But this game I was talking about with the Chiefs. Now again, I have a guy that I work with that's a Steelers fan. Now we made a bet about which team is going to perform better against the Chiefs. I really feel like that will be one of the games that Dak's going to have pressure on, because you're talking about the media is going to blow it up. It is going to be out there. You got the two highest paid quarterbacks in the league. You got Dak Prescott and you got Patrick Mahomes. And then pray to God by week 10, our defense is looking like how I want them to look, where they are getting it done up front and they're getting it done in the back. I believe that'll be a game we can win. And I don't think it'll be a hard game like people think, because one thing you just got to do is make Patrick Mahomes run out of the pocket.
Well, it's gonna be a fight type of game. What they did during this offseason was remarkable. They went and said, "Okay, we had issues on our front. Let's shore it up." They went and did some resources to get that thing secured, and not just. And I love the way they built it, because they didn't just do it on the front five; they did it on the front four. They went and got a Malcolm Brown. They reinsured Chris Jones again. Yeah, they also, you see what I'm saying? And they went and got somebody else's name at the tip of my tongue. And of course, Frank Wright, I believe that's his name, right? Frank Clark. I meant to say Frank Clark. He's not going to get suspended. He don't play for the Dallas Cowboys, so he can have all type of things he wants. So he'll be out there, and that front is vicious, and their secondary, as far as Warren Thornhill and my dog, the Honey Badger, that's all interior stuff. Outside edges, you have a chance as it relates to their DBs, but their interior look good.
See, why I'm saying this? Well, then again, you got a point. Skywalker and Vach's on live the other day together, and one of the callers or one of the people was talking about point control, and I believe if we can just start getting head starts in games, not starting slow, getting head starts in games, scoring touchdowns, and we got to reduce our field goal kicking. Like, we kicked so many field goals the last 2 years, it is ridiculous. If we could start getting points early, it put pressure on the other team. Now, we know one thing with the Chiefs, they throw one ball and that ball already downfield and they in the end zone. And if we can point control against the Chiefs, make it hard on Mahomes, and maybe especially Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Those are the main two you're going to have to try to take away. I believe we will have the weaponry to do it if everybody play their role, because we seen last year, the Bucks had it easy because they didn't have no tackles on the Chiefs O-line. But Mahomes ever throw that ball downfield, but he also was having a lot of his balls getting thrown away because his tight end and his main two weapons were getting covered.
Yeah. They do a lot of drags, deep drags. Look, y'all don't have to take my word for it, but just look at it. They do a lot of deep drags, deep crossers with the tight end, and they play it off with the Tyreek Hill, who is he's a mutant, man. That guy got next level skills as it relates to speed and finding and tracking the ball. I love his skill set, but that's how they run and operate their offense. But where a lot of people fail to realize is that they're not shy of running the rock and catching the ball out of the flats. So that's what makes them dynamic is their offensive play calling. And then you got a guy that got a cannon for an arm and knowing that the person can take the top off defense. That's what he does. He can close his eyes and just say, That's what happened. That's what happened in the 49ers game when it was in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Oh, I know that Watts play.
Yeah, it was like if he had any other wide receivers, he would not have a Super Bowl right now. I know I'm gonna get some hate mail over that, but he literally on third. Wrong. It was like if I go all the way back to like John Madden back in the days when they Pat Summerall say 3rd and long. You know
that man stepped back. They say he took 6 steps back, and you literally seen it. My man took 6 steps back and threw that bit like 60 yards downfield. I said, "Wait, what?"
And Tyreek Hill, by himself. I'm just like, "What?"
See, this is what I want Kellen Moore to do.
Yeah,
this is things I want Kellen Moore to look at. Like, you got to expose these defenses. Like Dak, I believe Dak got the talent. He's got the skills. Mm-hmm. He's mobile enough to get the ball downfield in those kind of ways. I mean, he ain't got a big arm like Mahomes, but he got the skills to throw that ball in open gaps. We on Sky's Twitter on his Dallas Cowboy Network, he showed where he exposed the Browns defense when he had with CD Lamb ran up the field, up the seam, and you seen that boy was just sitting in the goddamn end zone. He threw the ball right down. I'm like, this is Kellen Moore. Got to stick to that because he gets so inconsistent where he'll want to start doing trick plays and making stuff look fancy. He's like, no, don't. We need to step when we're on their throat. We got to stay on their throat.
But you know what? I opened my open monologue. I was talking about there's always a system of control, right?
Right.
And I believe like when you're young, you tend to fall into like, okay, I got to give my guy touches. But it's not until you understand like, hey, if my offense is hot right now with the passing, then I'm going to stick with it. I don't have to just say politically, I got to give my guy the touches. And I'm talking about the running back situation. If you killing the team in the air, then you stay with that. And I think that Kellen Moore didn't know how to really just, hey, if I'm killing you with this, if this is my bread and butter, and if they can't stop it, then I'm going to continue to do this until they stop it. But he would do it one time, and he'd say, okay, 2000, I know Kellen Moore wasn't the offensive coordinator. It was Scott Linehan. But I believe one of those years we were averaging 9.5 yards per carry on their reverse sweep with Lucky Whitehead. We didn't have that in 2016 because he didn't play in that playoff game. People fail to realize it's the little things. You do it until they can't stop it. But go ahead. Exactly.
No. See, and that was the question I was going to ask you. Do you think Jerry Jones plays a part in that? Where, they like you remember last year, people was like Jason Garrett should win it on fourth. It was like 2 years ago. Jason Garrett should win on fourth. And what happened in the next game? We was on a 4th down play and he went for it.
Yeah.
Because everybody in the media ridiculed him for it, and they was asking Jerry about it. Do you think it's one of those situations where we'll be good at passing, and Jerry comes in like, okay, but I'm paying Ezekiel Elliott $90 million. Why you ain't using him? Then you see another game where we're running the ball and not getting nowhere, but they want to give him the ball so much, and we're not passing enough. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you seeing it right now. We on Hard Knocks, baby. It's always like. I think it was somebody that hit me up, and I said, there's no way Jalen Smith is going to be able to wear number 9, right? And y'all see he wearing number 9. And then they hit me up immediately and said, hey, Law, think about it. The NFL gets a piece of that money. Jerry Wayne Jones get a piece of that money, and the player gets a piece of that money. Don't you think that Jerry will is all about the money. Of course, it's about the wins too, but he's going to try to figure out how I can get more butts in seats and how I can sell more merch. And I said, dang, I didn't look at that way. And then as soon as the news came out, Jalen Smith is now wearing number 9, right? So
I could definitely see it that way. I could definitely see it that way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold up your calls list because I know other people might want to call in. But I did have one more. It was one more thing I wanted to say. It was something you guys were talking about yesterday on live, or last night on live. I had missed it, but I reheard it this morning. It was about one of the guys. I think it was DC for Life was talking about Mike Nolan didn't have a chance to get with these guys like in a proper off season or whatever.
Right.
And picking the draft. But my thing is for that is, what about the weeks when they're training? You still have time. You still have time to be teaching these guys, implementing what you want them to be at. These guys are playing so much out of their position that it wasn't right. You can't take a Mustang and go actually to race a Ferrari. That ain't gonna work. Right. And that's just what was happening. Mike Nolan had these guys playing so much out of position. Like D-Law was, who was it? Everson Griffin came out and said, "I prefer my hands in the dirt."
Right.
And I think Everson Griffin honestly was a good end. He was a good defensive end. He just was playing out of his position because he didn't feel comfortable in that position. So this is one thing I'm hoping that Dan Quinn does is like, look, it's going to be the players, not the scheme. I just need the players to fit in the scheme. And this way, Jalen Smith won't be looking confused. Leighton Vander Esch won't be confused because we saw what he did when he was playing the Ravens. Lamar literally ran past him, and if you Vander Esch, you ain't catching Lamar. Right. That's it. And every team ran on us because our linebackers and our O-line was bad. So I really hope our defense is more established this year compared to last year, because I don't think Mike Nolan's a trash person. I think defense is just not his thing. He should be trying to call.
Well, the thing is with Mike Nolan, it's just like life. You got first impressions, and when you lose the crowd, when you lose the people, when you lose the guys, when you have people saying, "No, I'm not comfortable doing it this way," and he don't win over the crowd or win over the staff or win over the players, then he's at an uphill battle. And I think that's what happened. It's kind of like equivalent to you going on a date. Let's say if Beyonce was available, right? Let's say if she is available, you're on a first date with her, and you fool around and pass gas. You can't never get that moment back because she's gonna be like, "Dang, this Jay Versa guy is smelly." Her impression is gonna always be like, "This is stinking dude." So you got to understand that every moment counts, and I believe by Mike Nolan staying up in the press box, not working out with the guys, and really being there, I think that he passed gas, and everybody saw that and said, "Man, we don't want to affiliate myself with him." That's just how
you can just see how the way these guys talk in their interviews, how when they talk about Mike Nolan, and Dan Quinn, you could just tell that it's just a difference. It's just a difference. And I forgot who I was listening to. They said the reason why the Atlanta defense sucked because they was investing more on offense when it came to talent than defense. That's why Dan Quinn's defense wasn't good. And now over here he has talent.
You do.
That's the difference from that defense compared to ours. So I have some belief that this defense is going to be good. I haven't felt this way in a minute. I'm telling you, like all last year in 2019, when I saw Josh Rosen run on us, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a year we're going to be bad against the Roar." I knew it. But
it is what it is, though, Chief. Appreciate you for calling in, Jay Versa.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Law.
Salute, bro. That's a good call from him, man. Let me give him one of these. Got a new one right there. Yeah, so it is what it is with that. I got Jay, man. What's good with you, Worthy? What's good with you, man?
What's up, Law?
Oh, man, it's your world, Chief. It's your world. Hard Knocks over here. What's your thoughts on it, man?
Hey, man, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, and it just flashed before my phone. Dave Hellman released the story. I said, "We got Hard Knocks?" And I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. That's going to be a distraction. The cameras, we got all these rookies. And then I thought about it. I said, it's who we are, Law.
So we
it's
are.
the Cowboys. We the Cowboys.
Right.
We're always the center of attention.
Right.
Is that supposed to stop our play? No, I don't think so. And I thought about it. I said, what if Kansas City was on Hard Knocks? Do you think that's going to stop them from going out there and performing and being explosive? Not at all. I don't think so. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a yes and a no. Nothing is being brought to the media attention like the Dallas Cowboys. When the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, for crying out loud, nobody talked about them all off season and whatever they went through. Nobody talked about the fact that this is going on and that going on. And a couple of years before that, even with the situation and scenario with Tyreek Hill and his baby mama and all of that stuff, he didn't get cast a negative light for a long period of time. He didn't. So my thing is, it's hard to compare the two, the Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm quite sure that I would want the NFL to do some other teams than the Dallas Cowboys on Hard Knocks, or they could have picked any other team, but right now it's the Raiders grabs, and they want to grab those ratings and try to propel this NFL to higher heights, because everything is a shared commission, right? All profits are being shared throughout all of the teams, and the Dallas Cowboys carry majority of the team's salary on their backs. Yeah,
we carry those 4-letter networks.
We do.
You know what it is. The Dallas Cowboys, if it ain't anybody we can talk about, if our show ratings is dropping, just mention the Cowboys. And it's just going to uplift and boost the ratings, because they know our fan base is astronomical.
Yeah.
Our fan base is astronomical. And then when you think about it, and I had another thought. I said, when did Hard Knocks actually start airing? Was it in the 2000s or was it earlier than that?
Could be. I think we were the very first episode. I think I recall seeing Bill Parcells. I don't know, man. Somebody got
T.O. and
all of them. You know, it's good content. Don't get it wrong. You know, it's good content. It's just that it's just one of those things where the Dallas Cowboys always got their hand in it. You know.
But think about it. What if Hard Knocks was there when we were winning in the 90s? Did you think that would have been a distraction? Did you think we wouldn't have been as explosive as we are? Emmitt Smith, the rushing leader, leading the league in rushing 3 years straight. Michael Irvin still being him. We were made for TV. We the Dallas Cowboys. I sit back and I was like, that should not hurt us. What if we were in the 90s doing Hard Knocks?
Well,
we would still be the Dallas Cowboys.
We had a better commissioner then. We had Paul Tagliabue. You know, he didn't just suspend people for small things. But crying out loud, Michael Irvin stabbed a player in the neck with a pair of scissors. That. You know, I mean, one of our guys got into car wrecks, man, and still, you know, we had some other situations, whereas Big Nate got caught with over 200 pounds of that stuff in the trunk, man.
Yeah, I remember.
Smoke weed every day.
So I mean, it's just different times, man, and of course there are many of other stories. Whereas Irvin used to go to a hotel, and it used to be a slew of women, but they didn't have Twitter, Instagram, they didn't have social media as they
have camera phones, all over the place. That's awesome. Yeah. I was thinking to myself, I said, I thought CeeDee Lamb knew that we were getting Hard Knocks to visit the Dallas Cowboys in Oxnard. Think about the quote he made, "Get your popcorn ready."
Oh yeah, I mean they already
leaked it a little bit.
Yeah, he leaked it.
He leaked. I said CeeDee Lamb leaked it, but we didn't know, even though we know they were interviewing between 3 teams, the Browns, the Raiders, and us. Yeah, it was down to the 3.
Can you imagine if they picked the Browns though, for crying out loud? The people have been laughing, you know.
I mean, Baker Mayfield got more commercials than playoff wins, man.
Right.
And stuff like that. And speaking about that, I was listening. I forget what platform I was on, and they had Dak Prescott ranked number 6 quarterback, and also we're gonna talk about Ezekiel Elliott being ranked number 6 running back. but they always hold the losses against Dak Prescott, especially for last year. We were averaging 32 points a game.
Right.
Dak Prescott was on pace for 6,000 yards.
Correct.
Breaking. And 23 touchdowns, I believe. But they said, but during those games he played, he was only 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if we were averaging 32 points a game, what does that mean? Why did we lose? It makes sense. We were giving up 33 points a game, but they want to hold that against Dak Prescott.
It's like trying to explain the Pythagorean theorem to a 3-year-old. People like to take jabs at the low-hanging fruit, and of course, the quarterback get all of the blame when we lose, and the quarterback get all of the credit when we win. I'm quite sure Trent Dilfer can walk around with his chest out saying, "Hey, I won a Super Bowl." Eli can say he won too, and as well as Nick Foles and any of those quarterbacks that not considered being an elite quarterback can always walk out with their chest out and say, "Hey, I'm a Super Bowl winning quarterback." So heavy is the crown. Now, my thing is with Dak Prescott, I seen somebody posted in the chat. He had so many turnovers in 18 games, but if you look at his career span, Dak Prescott, I think somebody, the love below, I think, put that, let me see, on pace for 6,000 yards, 4-12, and 25 turnovers. That was from the love below. So when we look at those numbers as it relates to just that for last season, which you can use those numbers. But there's nobody who had more turnovers than Brett Favre's, right? But Brett Favre is considered a hero, right? And even when you look
gunslinger.
A gunslinger. Even if you look at I'll be cast, I'll be cast out, and people want to sell it and denigrate me if I say that Dak Prescott's first 4 years or first 5 years is a whole lot better than Peyton Manning's, and then people will say, but think about it. Think about this. Peyton Manning had a Hall of Fame front five as it relates to offensive linemen. He had pretty much Edgerrin James. If you look at his first 5 years or what have you, it's very similar to Ezekiel Elliott, if not almost better in certain categories.
And then he got Joseph Adai.
But before he had Marshall Faulk, for crying out loud. He never went without Reggie Wayne, as well as number 88 Marvin Harrison. So Dak Prescott, he had Cole Beasley one year he was throwing the ball to, and Bryce Butler, and it took 3 and 5 for the Dallas Cowboys to realize and say, okay, let's go out there and grab a legitimate wide receiver. So, I mean, it's not a one-size-fit-all type of situation and scenario. And, by the way, Peyton Manning threw for more touchdowns more interceptions and turnovers and fumbles and these sorts. So, I mean, we can go back and forth talking about just numbers, right?
Right. That's why I say men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Right.
The facts prove. I mean, everything else is hearsay, our opinion. I mean, we can say, they always say that. What's his name? He's the best quarterback of all time, Aaron Rodgers. And I was like, but if you go back and look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers, it doesn't even compare. I mean, you can say Eli Manning from his body of work, has better statistics than Aaron Rodgers. We all know he's not a better quarterback.
Right.
We get it, but
we get it,
where do we draw the line of how we're going to view these quarterbacks? Is it Super Bowl rings? Is it stats? Is it their abilities? What is it? So y'all want to actually lower the standard and lower our quarterback and say, because he only had one win during those astronomical numbers, he's just packing up stats. You have to get the wins with that. Nobody really took, and I remember Deion Primetime Sanders said that. He said, we ain't take, what's his name? The quarterback from the Denver Broncos. Oh, I'm drawing the blank.
John Elway?
He's not John Elway. He said, we ain't take him serious until he got Terrell Davis.
Oh, yeah.
But they put him on that pedestal because he got those 2 rings. They put Eli Manning on that pedestal because he got those 2 rings. Ben Roethlisberger because he got those 2 rings. Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to respect Dak Prescott until he get a ring.
Facts.
Until he get a ring. He's going to have all these astronomical numbers, just like Tony Romo. Tony Romo was the best seasoned quarterback there was, patting up the stats. But when he got into that playoff, what it is, he gave it up. He dropped the ball. So he never, ever reached that pinnacle where as though he was mentioned with the Drew Brees, the Peyton Mannings, the Aaron Rodgers, because he never could get over that hump.
Right.
We need Dak Prescott to get over that hump, because that's when they're going to start showing that respect, because Dak Prescott, his leadership ability, his stats, the way he managed the team, I'm looking at it like we didn't have that with Romo. Romo wasn't building a football field in his backyard saying, "Come on, everybody, come over. We're going to continue to practice." He's a people person, and that's what I respect most about Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but it's a strange argument when people say the Dak Prescott versus Romo, and I believe both guys are unique in their own way, and I just think that Dak Prescott is more centered and focused in just on football, opposed to Romo. He had other avenues, and he was a ladies guy. He really liked the ladies out there. He dated a lot of women, and I'm not trying to put that against him, but he was finding his boo thing basically. But
Carrie,
and Jessica and some other girl that he used to date back in the day. Britney,
remember everybody was wearing the pink wigs.
Yeah, Britney Spears and all of them. Yeah. So he was on it though, But it is what it is, man. But we're now heading into 2021 season, and my thing is with Dak Prescott, they just need to formulate this defense around him. I mentioned other quarterbacks like Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco.
Enjoy Oxnard.
Appreciate your fair weather in NYC. Appreciate you for the donation. But all of these things, those teams that won the Super Bowl with those quarterbacks, they had defense. And I think that if Dak Prescott can still put up north of 28 points a game, and we have a serviceable defense, baby, we can go a long way. But this defense got to wake up. Yeah.
Think about the Giants. I think about when the Giants beat us in that 13-3 season. They came right in there and whooped our butt with Brandon Jacobs running all over it, which really I'm so pissed off about. Mm-hmm. Their best, nobody can really give you the Giants secondary during that time. They had an outstanding front four, front five. Mm-hmm. But their best corner was Corey Webster. Their number one corner. Now, you got Jason Pierre-Paul, Matthias Kiwanuka. You had Justin Tuck. You had Michael Strahan. You had, they were fierce up front. That's why everything starts in the trenches. And when you look at the way the Bucs won last year, they won it in the trenches. They had them athletic linebackers, which you mentioned, because we had Sean Lee and who else?
Sean Lee a bust. And I want people to do this too, because I know the stat munchers will look at it and say, well, the Giants, they weren't top 10 defense the year they won the Super Bowl. But defense is a fickle process, because I believe there's two waves of defense. On the front end of the season, football is kind of warm, right? You play football, and when you're playing football and hitting when it's warm outside, it's okay. But it stings a little bit more. It stings a little bit more when it get colder outside. Get hit when it's cold. Muscles tighten up. Defense get a little bit more stingy, and that's what you want. You want your defense to peak on the latter end of the season, opposed to September and October. So I'm looking at this defense. If we can create continuity, rapport, and be on the same page toward the latter part, knowing your assignments and alignments, and Parsons is able to see and identify things quicker, because he's going to have his growing pains. That's right. That's naturally so. But if we can somehow get past the month of September and October healthy, and the defense on the same page, man, y'all can close your eyes, because we're going all the way.
Oh, we will. We can't get no worse. You see, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it, and everybody knows that. They say, listen, the Washington Redskins was one game ahead of us, but they want to crown them.
Right.
Well, crown them. Go ahead. Crown them. I don't care. Listen, we didn't have our starting quarterback. We didn't have our starting offensive lineman. We were turning the ball over. Our ratio was abysmal. And I'm just thinking about it. We're going to have everyone back healthy. Of course, we need everyone to stay healthy, but we can't get no worse. I mean, we bring in Neal, we got Parsons, we got Cox, we still got Jalen, we still got Van Der Esch. We can get hurt and bring somebody in and be fine.
Right.
Then we got that front four. We got Big Bohana and all them that's going to be up there in that front. We got the Canadian bulldozer. And so we can have our linebackers running free. We can have our edge rushers rushing off the ball. We're going to be fine. I think we're going to be fine. If Corey Webster can hold up, during that entire season, I think our cornerbacks is going to be fine. I think our safeties are going to be fine. It starts in the trenches, and I think they fix that issue that we have. And then getting all our offensive linemen back, Dak going to have more time to stand there in that pocket. And because our receivers, one thing we know for sure, them receivers going to get open. Kiss the game goodbye when CD Lamb is in that slot, So we're going to be fine. I really think that we're going to be fine. They fear us, but they want to talk bad about us.
That's good stuff right there, man. Let me hit you with one of these. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in with this information for the nation, Jay.
Jay Worthy all day, a.k.a. holding it down with your boy Okoye. That's what we do out here in Philly, man. Philly Cowboy all day. Law Nation all day. Listen, don't get the training camp. Hold this down. In Oxnard, HBO Films is going to be out there. Sometimes they go to the crowd.
Yeah.
They go to, talk to the fans in the crowd, ask what you think about it and everything and stuff like that. I need Law Nation up there with everybody else. Big Game Skywalker, Studio Day Heffrey, like you said, Country Wayne and all them. They going to get the front pinnacle.
They're gonna get Country Wayne. They probably panned over to him and as well as Scooter. Shout out to those two, man. They diehard Cowboy fans,
But listen, we holding it down with Law Nation. We, this is where we keep it real.
No doubt, man. Let's go. It's a good call from him, man. Good call from him. Let me give him.
This is Sparta.
Yeah. So the attention, all eyes, going to be on the Dallas Cowboys, and it's going to be heavy on this particular team. And we can't do nothing from left or right without it being seen. And shout out to my dog Okoye as well. He mentioned him. I forgot to mention him. Okoye always in the film room and proving it with the film. Y'all check out his stuff, man. Great content. And he had 2 boxers to go pro, so that's why he's been splitting his time working and training out the boxers and then also doing content for the Dallas Cowboys and then back over here doing content for us. So shout out to Okoye Media. Y'all check him out. Rue Glock, appreciate you, man. Shout out to all of the mods, man, for helping this channel out and sharing this content. Yeah. Rue says Okoye the legend. Yeah, that guy's the legend. I tell people all the time, when he does his film assessment, if he had more time, boy, just imagine if he had time, y'all can get some of that good ingredients on all of the players. One of the greater film assessments and film breakdown guys out there as it relates to present-day Dallas Cowboys, especially on his YouTube stratosphere. The love below, let's see, any more involved that gets in the offense more. We trend to 500. You making my argument. What is your point, the love below? Because I don't care what it is. Like just hear me out. If I were to tell, like, if you play football, let me know if you played football, the love below. And if you have a quarterback that says, okay, let's say, for example, if you play football and you're on the defensive side of the coin and your player says, I'm going to get you 28 to 30 points a game, are you able to win it? You're going to be like, hell yeah. Shoot, we're going to put up 30? We're going to put up 28? Shoot, we're going to win this game. So that's from a defensive perspective. From a defensive mindset, if my quarterback can get us to 28 to 30 points a game, we're going to win. That's just the bottom line. I believe, I think it was the Ravens. They were saying, they're like, man, if y'all could just score one touchdown, we can win this game in a field goal. They were just hoping that their quarterback can get them one touchdown or two touchdowns, and they'll win the game. Can you imagine if you put Dak Prescott on that particular team? Would Dak Prescott legacy be the same? You know, would people be still talking about them? And it says when your offense get 15 turnovers in 6 games and teams like Green Bay gets 11 a year, that is why we lose in the offensive side, basically. I'm just paraphrasing from the love below. Well, turnovers is a situation, and I can tell you that still I'm quite sure that the turnover ratio from a Dak Prescott juxtaposed to a Trent Dilfer, I'm quite sure Trent Dilfer, not even looking at the stats, had more turnovers. I'm quite sure even if you look at the situation and scenario of majority of the football teams, like the NFL teams in general, Dak Prescott turnover ratio since his time in the NFL, he's not considered to be a turnover machine. That's just not him. And I don't even have to look up the stats. He's not considered to be a turnover guy. If anything, he's a guy that holds on to it too long, right? He's not a guy that's going to take the risk. But the link is in the description box for those who want to jump in and voice their thoughts, their opinions. The link is in the description box, and it's just what it is. Ruglock said, yeah, I'm far left. Appreciate you. Let's see. And on the flip side, our defense over a period of 5 or 6 years, right? We have not been leading the league in turnovers and takeaways. We just don't do it as it relates to us getting the ball back to the offense. Can you imagine if we had, like, we actually sing praises to Diggs for what he had the most interceptions last season? And it was 3, right? Trent Dilfer is colorblind, and he had way more turnovers than John Turner. Shout out to Trent Dilfer, though. He got something that Dan Marino don't have, right? You know, so we can go back and forth with that, right? Shout out to you, Dallas Cowboys. Yes, sir. The Cowboys being back on here now is a distraction, in my opinion. This is from Land. Yeah, it's a detraction all the way. Distraction. I can't talk today for some reason. Cowboy Nation. Since I can't talk, good afternoon. This is Alex. Appreciate you, man.
This is Spot.
Had to go through my little keys there. I'm going to go grab me some lunch, Dad, you know. But I really appreciate you guys for tuning in and being part of this episode. And there will be a shorter video of me explaining all of this, details of the HBO series that's going to be with the Dallas Cowboys during this offseason. And August the 10th, we'll be watching with all our eyeballs and seeing, okay, this is what the Cowboys is about, you know, Hard Knocks. And of course, it's always a great insight. And I can't wait to see majority of all of these things, especially I believe August the 7th or August the 8th. I think it's August the 7th that we have the joint practice with the Rams, right? So that will be a good eye opener there. I will be there in that joint practice session. Hopefully we can get some of that interactions with the Rams team, especially the thing that I will be looking for will be Jalen Ramsey versus CeeDee Lamb. I can't wait to see that. Oh, the revenge. If they do this, Michael Gallup versus Jalen Ramsey, I cannot wait to see that matchup. And, of course, Aaron Donald versus our front five. I would like for Aaron Donald to just work on number 52, Connor Williams. Just work out with him all during that day, you know, mano a mano, seeing if he can ever get that strength together and those techniques together to stop a guy with a wicked bull rush like he got, right? So let's continue to grind and shine. Let's go. Sports Report. This is Ramalia. Sports Report. It says go Rams. Where'd they do that at? Come on now. Well, I can't wait to see you. I hope you come out there too, so you can get some of that beat down action from the Dallas Cowboys during the training camp practices. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get on out of here. I hope you guys have a good one. We'll probably be live a little later on today. I'm off today, so y'all know how that goes. Let's go. Jay Verse said he's going to break them. Yeah, probably so. Go. Appreciate y'all for jumping in. Be sure to hit that like button on your way out. Let's continue to grind and shine, Cowboy Nation. Love them or hate them. When you see them, it's a hard knocks life. Let's go. It's hard to turn away, but you gotta respect them, right? The Dallas Cowboys. Let's continue to grind and shine, baby. Huh? Ramalia Sports says the Rams are the new America's team. Won't you leave? Oh, I got to stop that one. Won't you lean forward just a little bit? Yeah, right there. Right there. You know good and well y'all ain't the America's team. You want y'all go count something over there. Start that beat back up. Go to your room. Let's go. Who mad? Somebody got a whooping. Gotta go home. Come on, baby. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. Ain't no party like a cowboy party. Let's grind. Let's go. Who mad they got a whooping? Lean forward just again. Just right there. Stay still. Come on. Hey. We shooting down over here, baby. Come on. Fatality. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Gotta grind and shine. We out. Peace. Tell them. Yeah, come on.
Nowadays, nothing really is ice. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinging, she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. Jeez, no. Please, no photos. Hit the door and the domain just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a way till I